Good day, everyone. I'm here to present and report the four of how to correct and update Admiralty sailing directions. There are four types of how to correct and update Admiralty sailing directions. So first, how to correct and update Admiralty sailing directions. Before using Admiralty sailing directions, the mariner must always check that the most recent edition of volume and its supplement where relevant are held. First, check that all the amendments in annual notices to mariners part 2 amendments to sailing directions have been applied. Second, check that all amendments published at section 4 of weekly editions of Admiralty notices to mariners subsequent to the publication of the most recent edition of annual notices to mariners. Part 2 amendments to sailing directions have been applied using the most recent quarterly checklist of section IB of the weekly edition and the most recent edition of cumulative list of Admiralty notices to mariners, where it is found that the most up-to-date information is not held. The most recent editions of all Admiralty publications can be obtained from Admiralty chart agents, and back copies of weekly editions of Admiralty notices to mariners can be also downloaded from the UKHO website. Before we correct and update Admiralty sailing directions, we should find the cumulative list of notice to mariners, and we will get the publication list of mariners, especially of the editions and the numbers of title, and then we will locate the final edition of the paper and the final week of the update. And to update the correction, we should write in the record book of update in the week of notice to the mariners only, including the annual essential book of annual summary of notice to mariners. We can get all publications or the updates of notice mariners only. Second is to how to correct update Admiralty list of lights and fog signals. Each edition of the Admiralty list of lights and fog signals contain the latest information received by the UKHO and the supersedes the previous edition. Subsequent updates to each book will be included in the section 5 of the weekly editions of Admiralty notices to mariners, copies of which can be obtained from the authorized Admiralty agents or via the UKHO website. Third is to how to correct and update Admiralty list of radio signals. Each edition, the Admiralty list of radio signals contains the latest information received by the UKHO and supersedes the previous edition. Subsequent updates to each book will be included in section 6 of the weekly edition of Admiralty notices to mariners, copies of which can be obtained from the authorized Admiralty agents or via the UKHO website. Note: the NP284 is only updated by new edition. The insertion of weekly amendment should be recorded in the table at the front of each volume. The amendments which accumulate during the book printing period will be found in the section 6 of the weekly edition of Admiralty notices to mariners, which announces the publication of the new edition. A cut-out new edition note is pasted into the new edition first amendment box. New and extensively altered entries are intended to be pasted in. It is recommended that a manuscript entry is made for all shorter amendments. The weekly edition number is shown on all amendments. The appropriate indexes and diagrams should also be amended if necessary. Color versions of this may be downloaded from the UKHO website. Fourth, and the last, how to correct and update other miscellaneous publications. We can see the updates of miscellaneous publication we should go or we will locate from the book of Annual Summary to Mariners, and we will see all updates of Mariners or the entire details and the other interested individual form or update of Mariners, etc. And that's all. Thank you.